Welcome back. In the last video we added a control information text with a very cool effect, and in this video we will add a direction hint text. So this text will describe if the user is currently moving the model either to the left or to the right, or if he's not moving the model at all. So here are some possibilities for our hint texts. This would be the first one if the model is not moving at all. This is for moving to the left, and this text will be displayed if the user is moving the model to the right. So open the project again, and as I said, what we need are 3 texts for hinting the user what the model is doing at the moment. So let's create 3 text IDs first. And let's call the first one here waiting text. Then this one we will call moving left text. And of course, moving right text. And as you can see, I made them global this time, because I know we will need them in more than one function here. Then let's create these texts. For that we will open our load scene function. And we can actually copy these lines here. And let's start with creating our first hint text. Then let's change the ID. Let's start with the waiting text. So let's change this one here to waiting as well. And let's keep the font and the color here. So let's now change the position. We'll first change the ID here and here. I think centering the text is fine, but maybe this time let's place the text at the bottom of our application. And I think you know how this can be done because we used this function before. So let's use our getScreenHeight function here. And let's type in -100. Very good. This should work already, so let's rerun our application. And as you can see, this is our waiting text. So let's do this with the other 2 texts as well. So let's copy these lines here. And all we need to do is to change the ID and the text. Let's start with moving left text. And change the IDs here as well. And of course, same procedure for the moving right text. Now if we run our application here again, you will see that all texts are being displayed at the same time. And you may understand now what kind of logic we would have to implement, because what we want is to display one text at once. And of course, we want to display the proper text. And for that, let's write our logic function, and let's call this one display hint text. Very good. And let's create our function definition down here. Great. Let's focus on our logic now. And what we want is to display the right text depending on the direction of the model. So what we have actually are 3 cases. The first one is moving to the left, second one is moving to the right, and the last one is not moving at all. So let's start with the first case, moving to the left. So how do we know that the model is moving to the left? Well, we did this already. The model is moving to the left when the left arrow key is being pressed. So let's copy this if statement here and let's include it here. And what we need to do now inside this if statement is to make the proper text visible and the other ones invisible. Unfortunately, our text class comes with a function called makeVisible. So let's use this function. Well, the first parameter is our text ID. And the second parameter is a boolean. So if we would set this value to true, we would make our text visible. And if we would set this value to false, we would make our text invisible. And in this case, if we would move the model to the left, we want to display the moving left text and nothing else. So let's set this value here to true. And of course, we would have to make the other two texts, the moving right text and the waiting text, invisible. So let's check the result first. And let's copy this line here. And let's change the ID to moving right. And this text we would have to make invisible. As well as the waiting text. We need to set this one to false as well. Very good. Let's now use our display hint text function inside our game logic function. I'm excited. Let's test our application. And let's now move our model to the left. And as you can see, it kind of works already. Very good. Let's now implement our second case, moving to the right. And for that, let's type else. And we can copy these lines here. And let's insert them here. All we need to do now is to change the key first. And let's this time make the moving right text visible. And of course, we need to make the moving left text invisible. And the last case is our waiting text. And how do we know that our model is waiting for us? Well, this happens if both of these if statements are false. So let's copy this line here and let's invert the condition. Let's put an and in here and let's copy this condition as well. And of course, we need to invert this condition as well. So if the model is neither moving to the left nor to the right, we want to display our waiting text. So let's do this. And let's copy these lines here. And all we need to do now is to change the booleans. So let's make our waiting text visible and the other ones invisible. Very good. Let's run our application now to see if it's working. And as you can see, our model is waiting for us. So let's move to the left now. Very good. It's waiting again, and let's move to the right. And as you can see, this is exactly what we wanted to implement. This is our new game logic feature. Well, this could be the end of our video here, but let's add another small feature here, because I don't like that both of these texts are being displayed at the same time. So what about displaying this text only at the beginning of our application, so as long as the model has not been moved yet, and let's start displaying this text here when the model starts moving. And this can be easily done by creating a global variable, and let's call this one started moving, and this one will be a boolean. And we will set this one to false in the beginning. Let's now enter our game logic function, and let's extend this condition here, because we want to display our hint texts only after the model has started moving. So let's put an end here, and let's type in started moving. And of course we need to set this variable to true after the model has started moving. So let's enter our moveModel function, and let's set this variable to true if the model is moving. Very good. And do it here as well. Well, this wouldn't work yet because all three hint texts are being displayed at the beginning now. So what we need to do now is to make all of these texts invisible in the beginning. So open our loadScene function here and make them invisible. Let's start with the moving left text. And then simply copy these lines. And just change the ID. Very good. This should work already. And as you can see, there is no text being displayed at the beginning. So let's start moving our model now. And as you can see, this is working already. So let's focus on the other text now. And this is easy. Just enter our game logic function here. And inside this if statement here, let's check if the model has started moving. Well, if not, we can continue using our blinking effect here, but if the model has started moving, we should make this text invisible. Okay, let's do it. Very good. I'm excited. Let's now rerun our application to see if it works. And here we are again. And as you can see, this is our blinking effect here. And let's now start moving our model. And here we go. This is our game logic. Very good. Well, that was fun adding this feature to our application. I hope you had fun too, and I hope to see you in the next video.